Look at this plate. Every microgreen, every drop of sauce is placed with surgical precision. In fine dining, a chef's signature dish is their resume, their ego, and their ultimate claim to perfection. That intense focus is exactly what you'll find in Chef Marcel's kitchen. His restaurant is highly exclusive, constantly bustling, and packed with patrons who wait weeks for one specific item, the famous truffle risotto. But that reverence is incredibly fragile. On a busy night, a young girl sitting in the dining room takes a single bite of the celebrated risotto and casually points out a flaw. She tells her mother, loud enough for the staff to hear, that it is simply too salty. Chef Marcel expects unquestioning praise from his diners. He insists his complex flavor profiles are beyond her understanding. The child, however, is judging the food on a much more raw, experiential level, how it actually tastes to her. Technical execution means very little if it ignores the palate of the person holding the fork. Even the most structurally flawless dish fails entirely if it doesn't taste good to the person eating it. Marcel immediately goes on the defensive. He argues that an untrained child lacks the intellectual capacity to grasp the intricate layers of his risotto. Arthur Bennett, a prestigious food critic for City Table magazine, overhears the entire dispute. Bennett recognizes a profound philosophical clash happening in the room between strict culinary technique and genuine human taste. He steps in with a proposition. He challenges Chef Marcel and Emma, the young girl's mother, to a high-stakes 3-round cook-off right there in the restaurant kitchen. The winner will receive a front-page feature in his magazine. The setup is heavily skewed. Emma is a home cook relying on daily family recipes, suddenly forced to operate inside an intimidating, fast-paced industrial environment against a seasoned professional. This contest tests a specific theory, whether the emotional care of a home cook can dismantle the formidable wall of formal culinary training. The first round goes exactly as you might expect. Chef Marcel secures a swift, decisive, and overwhelming victory. This diagram breaks down commercial kitchen mechanics. On the left, we see the linear, high-speed workflow of a commercial line cook, relying on intense muscle memory. On the right, the slower, scattered movements of a typical home kitchen. Standing at her station, Emma realizes she is completely out of her element. She cannot possibly match Marcel on the axis of sheer speed or elaborate tweezers-level plating. When food is judged purely by the metrics of rapid execution and pinpoint technical precision, the home cook is mathematically guaranteed to lose. The sterile tension of the commercial kitchen finally breaks when Emma's daughter hands her a small toy rat. It is a simple gesture to help her feel brave, but it successfully grounds Emma in her true identity as a mother cooking for her family. For the second round, she makes a strategic pivot. She stops trying to mimic fine dining and instead prepares butter chicken, a dish built entirely on warmth, sustenance, and care. The resulting sauce is rich, heavily spiced, and distinctly unpretentious. It doesn't rely on microscopic garnishes. It relies on deep, slow-cooked flavor. This pivot shocks the professional staff. Emma wins the second round outright, tying the competition. Comfort food succeeds by operating on a different level. It bypasses intellectual critique entirely and directly triggers feelings of psychological safety and nostalgia. The kitchen shifts into the winner-take-all final round. Chef Marcel is visibly shaken by the realization that a home cook has fought him to a standstill. Driven by a need to prove his original point to both the critic and the child, Marcel stubbornly decides to remake the exact same truffle risotto. This bell curve chart displays a seasoning sweet spot. Terrified of being called too salty, Marcel wildly overcorrects. The seasoning drops from the extreme right to the extreme left. Hitting this bland zone, the dish's identity completely vanishes, replaced by a cautious, uninspired effort. When a bruised ego breeds fear, it overrides a chef's artistic instincts. That fear dictates the process, ultimately ruining the final product. For her final entry, Emma submits a braised pork stew. It is a deeply personal, generational recipe passed down from her grandmother, devoid of modern trends. Side by side, they reveal a stark contrast. The rustic, dark brown stew presents a visual honesty that highlights the lifeless elegance of the pale risotto. Arthur Bennett delivers his final judgment. He notes that Marcel's dish demonstrates an obsession with skill. Emma's dish, however, achieves something vastly more difficult. It makes the diner feel safe, comforted, and at home. Emma is declared the winner. She secures the magazine cover, proving her family's palate matters. True culinary greatness is not defined by the price of the ingredients or flawless knife skills. It is defined by the honest communication of care, memory, and love.